Let's see what we've got. Allie, first person in the live. Good morning. Hello. I want to wait for a couple more people to join, obviously, because there's one person in here right now. And then we will wait for some people to join. Hello. Good morning. Hello. I'm seeing some people in here who are subscribers. And if you don't know, I've tried to turn it off multiple times. You no longer need to subscribe. We're not doing that anymore. And I can't turn it off. TikTok won't let me. So it says a couple people that your thing was gonna, your subscription was going to lapse or whatever. Don't renew it. You don't have to. You can if you want to, but there's no benefit anymore. I'm trying to pull away from that. Apple, let's see. The headline today is Apple's iPhone sales in China tumbled 24% amid rising popularity of Highway. I don't know how to pronounce that, but that is why Apple looks like it's on the drop. Huawei continued to extract strong demand for its Mate 60 series. Let's take a look at what that is. I guess it's their version of a smartphone. Kind-hearted, your comment was flagged again. I'm not sure why your comments keep getting flagged, but yes, it was flagged. I will take a look at FEPI. I've never heard of it. It is a covered call ETF that has a moderately high covered expense ratio. It's a FANG and innovative equity ETF, so I'm guessing they're selling covered calls against the FANG stocks, the Facebook, Amazons, whatever. It only holds 82 companies, which is interesting. Their dividend is 8.3%. It does pay monthly, I'm going to assume, about $1.19 per month, but it's new. It's out as of October 2023, so it's still relatively a new fund. Hello, good morning, hello. By the way, for everyone who's in here, but I'm going to keep an eye on this one. It looks interesting, and I'm also going to keep a little list here of the stocks that we're talking about on this live as well. Let's see. Yeah, I know. It's not that you're saying anything inappropriate. It's their algorithm is picking up on something, and it thinks that it's an inappropriate phrase. Oh, shit. We closed the laundry room to block out the noise, but Robin wants her food. I will be back. I'm sorry. Yes, I know. Please, have breakfast. All right. Sorry. We closed the door so the laundry room sound wouldn't bug me on my live, and then, of course, Robin decided she was hungry. Robin is the dog. Let's see what we've got here. By the way, for anyone who's new here, this is not a stream. This is not a recording. This is live. I try to answer everyone's question as fast as I possibly can. Somebody asked about Apple. We talked about it already. It looks like, I don't know how to pronounce this. I'm really sorry. Highway has a phone in China that is pretty popular, and the iPhone is taking a hit in China because of this. I think they said Apple iPhone sales were down 24%. That's not great news for Apple, especially in China, which is a humongous market. By the way, if you ask a question, that's what I wanted to say. Don't leave. I will answer your question. You don't have to spam the chat. You don't have to ask your question 15 times in a row. I work my way to the bottom, and then I go back up, and I work my way back down to the bottom again. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. I got 15 shares of TKO. I don't know that it's going to have like explosive growth like they used to anymore. Simply because the reason that they grew so much, by the way, if you see these here, this is not financial advice. I'm not recommending you buy a stock. These are the stocks that I've held. TKO was WWE. I held it since 1999. I'm not saying I own it. You should buy it. You definitely have to do your own research. The last thing you should be doing is copying someone on social media. Their investments could be different than yours, or their needs, or their goals, or their time frame. Much like this one, I purchased it in 1999. It was a loser for the first decade and a half until they announced the WWE Network, and then boom, it was like their version of Netflix. Built-in customer base every month, $10, and it was a huge revenue draw for them. Then they sold it. Now they don't have that anymore. What's going on with Tesla? Why is it dropping? Let's see. Tesla is down $4. It's down 2% today. They halt. Okay, so we've got some pretty big news in a couple big companies. One, iPhone sales are down 24% in China. Two, a fire and power outage at Tesla's plant in Germany led to a full evacuation on Tuesday. There was an environmental organization known as Vulcan Group, which was responsible for this fire. It was like arson, like they were trying to burn it down. Let's see. The article here says, if the initial findings are confirmed, this is a perfidious attack on our electrical infrastructure, stated the state interior minister. This will have consequences. Thousands of people have been cut off for their basic supply and put in danger. Tesla was temporarily forced to halt production at their Gigafactory after all of the people were laid off. Hi, Robin. I'm on TikTok now. I know, I can't play. Whoops. Should knock the phone over. Okay, let's see. How high do you think CAVA can get? I don't really know, and I'm not in the prediction business. But if they keep the amount of shares relatively low, like Chipotle did, it could be a big one for us. I mean, for me at least, I own it. The reason being, when you put a lot of shares on the market, it kind of like it oversaturates the space. Like Apple has 16 billion shares on the market, or 15 and a half, because they've been doing buybacks. But a couple years ago it was 16 billion. And that's hard to move a stock with 16 billion shares on the market. It's a lot easier to move a stock with, say, 27 million or 40 million. Chipotle has, I think, I'm going to find it for you. Chipotle has 27.4 million shares on the market, which is exactly how many I believe they started with when they first went public. So they've never issued more shares to the market, which why am I skipping out on the word here? What's it called when they dilute the shares? They haven't diluted their shares. 27 million is what they started with. They still have 27 million. It's a supply and demand thing. A limited supply means people want to buy it and they want to hold it. And it drives up the price a lot higher. Now, CAVA has, I think, a little bit more. CAVA has 113 million shares on the market. So they have a little bit more than Chipotle, obviously, 27 million shares to 113 million, but it's no Apple either. I think CAVA could go up a lot. And I'm glad you asked about CAVA because I wanted to show everyone something in here. There's a website that I use called TipRanks. TipRanks shows you 1-year price targets according to the analysts. And it used to be that you could look up as many stocks as you wanted, and it was free. And then they had some paid services as well. Well, no longer. Now you can look up like 8 to 10 stocks per day. And when you hit your limit, it just grays over the whole page and they try to get you to subscribe. And I think it's $30 a month. So I was like, well, that sucks because that was a huge resource for me. And I didn't want to pay for it. I wanted to see if there was an alternative somewhere, and I found one. And I feel like an idiot now because I've been using Seeking Alpha for years and I didn't know they had this same feature on their website. So I'm going to show you where you can find it right now. Let's see here. Okay, so we're going to flip the screen if it ever lets me. Over here, you'll see their Seeking Alpha analysts, which I often ignore. Quant, which is their technical, it's like their software that runs like the data for you. And then Wall Street, and that's what we want here. Wall Street has a buy rating on the stock, but what I didn't know is if you click on Wall Street, would you look at that? They offer the same shit as TipRanks, and they don't charge you for it. Well, maybe they do, actually. This might be part of their premium package. It says 13 analysts over the last 90 days have issued 6 strong buys, 3 buys, 4 holds, no sells. This is for CAVA, no sells. And an average 1-year price target of $61.40, which is a 5.26% upside. But if you come over here, you can see the average and the low. So the average, and should also be a higher price target as well. Let's see, scroll down a little bit more. They got all kinds of great information on here. Usually there is a high price target, which something tells me it's buried under this average. It's like hiding. But anyway, that's really cool. It's on the Seeking Alpha website. I don't know if it is part of the premium services that they offer because I get it for free because we used to work together. But it's definitely something worth checking out. So I don't know. I mean, the 1-year price target is $60. Long term, your guess is as good as mine. Let's see here. This is why I'm glad I'm going through. What do you think about VRT? By the way, I have to say this a couple times over the course of the live. You don't have to spam the chat. If you have a question about something, feel free to, it's Seeking Alpha. Feel free to ask it once, maybe twice. You don't have to ask 50 times in a row. I'll catch up to everybody. Vertiv Holdings is something I've never heard of. It's $71 a share. Last year it went up 342%, which is insane. Their grades are fantastic, except for their valuation, which is rated at an F because the stock has gone up so much, so it's very overvalued. Growth, A+. Profitability, B+. Momentum, A+. Revisions, B+. It is the electrical components sector. They don't offer, they do offer a dividend, but it's 0.04%. They're really here for the growth. That's what you're really here for. Electrical components and equipment. So maybe, let's see. They serve, they design, manufacture, and service critical digital infrastructure technologies. That seems very important. And lifecycle services for data centers, communication networks, and commercial and industrial environments in America, Asia, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Seems like they do something pretty important. CAVA long-term target, we just talked about it. It's $61. I don't have one outside of what the analysts have. Your guess is as good as mine. Is VOO too high to invest in right now? Jenny, the thing about it is it's not a one-time investment. VOO isn't something that you buy 100 shares of and you hold it for 30 years. VOO is the kind of investment that every month you buy a little bit more, every single month, no matter the price, until you get close to retirement. So don't worry. You'll buy it at higher highs. You'll buy it at lower lows. You'll buy it all across the board. If there's a really strong bull market, doesn't matter. You keep buying it every month. But what if it goes higher? Doesn't matter. Well, what if it goes lower? Doesn't matter. Every month you buy a little bit more. It's not just for VOO. You can do it for SPLG, SPY, any of the S&P 500 index funds. That's the sort of investment that is your foundation. It's the thing that you invest in every single month. So don't worry, it's too high right now. Yes, markets are at all-time highs. But you want to start. You want to start. You don't want to be the person who says, I'm just going to wait for the recession because we saw this happen last year. Are you sure? We saw this happen last year. All these 20-year-olds on TikTok, all these finance bros who are 20 years old coming out saying a recession is coming, I'm selling everything. Are you sure about that? You're 20. This is when you should be accumulating shares, the most you can afford, not selling because you're afraid of a recession. Come on. You should be afraid of a recession when you're heavily invested in the stock market and you're 70 because markets can go down and take 10 years to recover and then you're 80 and you're still not recovered. When you're 20, who cares? Just load up. And I don't know how old you are, Jenny, but just load up. And as you get closer to retirement, you start dialing it back. The website that I was using is Seeking Alpha. By the way, you can go on my website. It's kennethsuna.com. Click on the menu, which will be down here on your phone or up there on your computer. Click on the menu. You'll get a free resource guide. There's no strings attached. There's no email. And I'm not saying put in your email and I'll send it to you. And then I have your email and I can sell your email or I can sell you products via the email. There's no email. There's no PayPal to unlock it or Patreon to unlock it or subscription to unlock it. You just go on and get it. It's free. User 955, do you invest in crypto? Yes, I do. Can you 12foot.io the page? I don't know what that means. That's from, I'm guessing your username is nonsense. Tony's stuff, your filter was flagged for some reason, but you said, what's the symbol for CAVA? The CAVA symbol is CAVA. It's CAVA. It's right there. I got shares of Jeppy. It's got some drawback the last 2 or 3 days. What's going on? They sell covered calls. So if the markets go down, if the markets go up, the shares get called away, and then they have to repurchase the shares at higher prices, and then the markets go down. They can have a loss for a few days. Don't worry about it. If you're a long-term investor in these things, don't drive yourself nuts. I bought it today. It went down the next day. You'll drive yourself crazy. Just buy and hold. Another thing Jeppy does, I don't know if Jeppy, Jepy, I don't know if they do a buy and hold thing as well. I know Jeppy with an I, JEPI, does like a hybrid approach where they buy and invest and they sell covered calls. So if the markets go up, Part of JEPI also goes up, but they're also selling covered calls for premium. But I don't think JEPY does that. Let me look. No, it doesn't look like they do. JEPY JEPY is the first put right ETF on the S&P using daily options. That's much higher risk. Daily options are much higher risk because they expire every single day, which means that every single day they have to buy new 0-day options. It's got an expense ratio of almost 1%, which is very, very high. Makes sense when you think about how much work that goes into this. It's 23% dividend. They're probably seeing their shares getting called away all the time. It's a more high risk than something like JEPY with an I. User 345 says, "Hey, Bitcoin, I just got a thing on my phone. It's past 69,000. I'm interested in your do your own research guide. You can get it on my website. It's kennethsuna.com. It's my first name, my last name. Click on the menu. In addition to the free resource guide, which is totally free, there's also a stock fight template where you can compare two stocks that you're interested in. There's also an ETF template, which you can compare two ETFs that you're also interested in. So if you were like, oh, I don't know which ETF is better, XLK or VGT, you go on my website, you download the template, it's clickable, you add in your own data. I've linked videos to show you how to do it. And there's a resource guide, which has links to every website that I've ever used. Do you think Tesla will start to pick up in late 2024? Probably. Elon, they never got their Cybertruck out. Now he's announcing like the fastest supercar in the world or whatever. 0 to 60 in under a second is what he's claiming. But, come on. Where's the Cybertruck? People have been waiting for that thing for years and it's still not out. I think they're now selling a couple, but they all have rust and there's like big issues with that. There's a lot of competition now. Tesla used to be the only game in town. Now they're not. Every car has an electric vehicle or every car company has an electric vehicle. There's a lot of competition. Are they still the main event? Like, are they still like the one you think of when you think EV? Yes, but for how much longer? So will Tesla go up? I'm sure at some point it will. Unless they drop the ball even more like they've been doing recently. Elon's distracted. He's got Twitter that he's dealing with. And there's competition. So I could see Tesla kind of cooling off. Look, in the last 5 years, it went up 800%. In the last decade, it went up 1,000%. My feeling is those days are over. I don't think Tesla is going to be going up 800% every couple of years. I just don't. I could be wrong, though. Is SPLG, SCHG, and SCHV a good combo to invest in? Should I add a JEPI? I can't give you financial advice. SPLG, this is for Pratt, is an S&P 500 index fund. SCHG is a large cap growth, and SCHV is large cap value. I'm assuming large cap value pays a higher dividend. It pays a little bit of a dividend. It's only up 82% in the last 10 years. Instead of the large cap value, you might consider something like SCHD, which is their dividend fund that has a little bit of a higher return and a much higher dividend. Thoughts on Celsius? I posted a video on Celsius a few weeks ago. You can go watch that video. If you search, by the way, people might not know this. If you go on TikTok and you search, you hit like the little microscope and you hit under their search feature and you type in Trade, Invest, Simplify. That's my account name. Number one, you're going to see thousands of Trade, Invest, Simplify copycat scam accounts. So be careful of them. The second thing you can do is you can type in Trade, Invest, Simplify Celsius or the symbol CELH and the video will pop up. So if I get about 150 to 200 DMs every single week, even more if a video is going viral, and then people just feel free to DM me nonstop questions, which is fine. You can DM me, but please first, before you DM me going, could you make a video on Celsius? Search for it. It's more likely than not that I've made a video on whatever it is you're looking for. So type in my username and SCHD or, AAPL or TSLY or covered calls, and you'll find the video if I've made it. Do you have a favorite AI ETF? No, I don't, but I actually just posted a video on how to find AI ETFs, so you can go and check that playlist later. But I don't have a favorite. D King is a stock good for long term. I agree. What do you think about VRT? I think we answered that one. Vertiv Holdings. It's a, what did they say they were here? Electrical components. Yeah, we talked about that one. All right, I'm going to jump to the bottom. I'm going to work my way back up to the top. Cryptocurrency. I invest a lot in cryptocurrency, and let me tell you something. My crypto accounts, insane. I don't check my crypto accounts very often. It's kind of like a set it and forget it investment for me. I bought a couple of various, like I bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, HBAR, Polygon, Matic, VeChain or VET or whatever it's called. I bought a bunch. Solana, I think I have Solana. I have the crypto.com one. I just loaded up on a bunch of different ones that I thought were best poised to go up in the future. A little Dogecoin just for funsies too. And then I forgot about it. I just put the money in. I forgot about it. And all of the crypto content creators, except for a few, really kind of stopped making content because crypto went down and crypto was getting a lot of like heat on government and regulations, and JP Morgan coming out saying crypto should be illegal, but also we're buying it. So there was, a lot of people kind of backed off on crypto and kind of forgot about it until I started seeing all these old content creators who used to make a lot of crypto content, and then they went away and now they're back again because crypto's hot again. And I was like, oh, let me check my crypto. So I used Kraken and crypto.com and Coinbase. I went on all three of those platforms. Whoa. My Kraken account is up 61% this month. That's insane. Do you think Supermicrocomputer is good long term? I think they are a very, very trendy stock that got very carried away for a minute. They are being added to the S&P 500. When, I can't tell you. It should be sometime soon, I guess. The stock is up 912%. It's down a little bit today. When it comes to stocks like this, by the way, that are up 900% in a year, I'm not chasing it. It's not worth the risk for me in a stock that's $994. So, it could go to 1,000. It could go to 1,500. It could go to 2,000. The way I look at it is, this thing is so expensive. One share is going to cost me, let's just round up right now because it's $994. One share is going to cost me $1,000. So I buy one share and what? It goes to $1,500. My profit is $500. Would I even take the profit at that point, or would I just hold my one share? So what? It goes to, unless the stock goes to like $1 million, which is very unlikely. Berkshire Hathaway is $500,000, and look at all the stuff they own. Very unlikely. But if you really are dying to throw in a little bit of money, it's your call. It's your money. For me, I'm sitting it out, and I'd rather put my $1,000 into more affordable stocks that I think have more growth ahead of them. And if I'm wrong, it is what it is. Eric is in here, old friend of mine, actually one of my oldest friends. I don't know if you're still in here. Your question was thoughts on the reported upcoming stagflation. Let's see. I'm gonna see if we can find anything here. Are there any news articles? All right, here we go. When I hear that it's coming from JP Morgan, it makes me not believe the story. Because JP Morgan comes out and they go, oh, don't buy crypto. Crypto is a scam. It should be illegal. You shouldn't touch crypto. And what were they doing? At the exact same time they were saying don't buy crypto, they were buying crypto. So when JP Morgan comes out and it says here's the article. JP Morgan warns investors should brace for 1970 style stagflation. Let me see. I'm gonna see if we can find anything here. Okay, so first, stagflation is the combination of economic stagnation and high inflation, characterized by soaring consumer prices as well as high unemployment. First of all, I don't think we're going to have high unemployment. If you look, unemployment is at all-time lows. Under Trump, it was 6%. Under Biden, it's 3%. People even say the numbers are fake and that the numbers are always higher. Even still, if it was double, it would still be 6%, which is relatively, it's still kind of low. Let's see what we can find here. Stagflation ravaged the U.S. economy in the 70s and early 80s as spiking oil prices, rising unemployment, and easy monetary policy pushed the consumer price index as high as 14.8 in 1980. This guy says there are many similarities to the current times. We already had one wave of inflation, and questions started to appear whether a second wave could be avoided. Stagflation fears surged in 2022 as the Fed began aggressively increasing rates to quell raging inflation. But those dissipated last year amid signs that pressures were subsiding without a substantial hit to the economy. Let's see here. JP Morgan's CEO Jamie Dimon has pointed out economic similarities between the 1970s and 2024, including large fiscal deficits. Hey, thanks for the heart. Hey, Anya, thanks for the heart. Massive government spending and changing trade flows. I'm not particularly worried about it, but we shall see. Thoughts on Bumble? I didn't really meet her, but Sarah and I met on Bumble. Not really, we're neighbors. We met in the building. But she saw me on Bumble and said, hey, neighbor. So I like Bumble. But as a stock, no. It's down 49% last year. It's down 26% this year. Surprisingly, though, it has good grades. Valuation B+, growth A, profitability C+, momentum D-, obviously, because it's gone down. Revisions A-. Wall Street gives it a 1-year price target, pretty good. It's $10.89 right now. 1-year price target of $16. That is a 46% move to the upside. Might be. Let's see here. Might be a little bit interesting to look at. I'm just writing down everything that we're talking about here on this live, because I'm going to try to do one of those. Like YouTube things where you timestamp like what you're talking about, just to make it a little bit easier. Let's see here. Jimmy Cho says, I bought NVDA at $850. How much do you reckon it'll go up in the future? Your guess is as good as mine. The 1-year price target is $1,400. The average is $890 and the low is $608. I think that 608 was just a previous high target that they've smashed past and they've surpassed, because there are 55 analysts covering NVIDIA. 39 give it a strong buy. 11 give it a buy. 5 give it a hold. No sells. So should we get in on this crypto life? I mean, Wavy, the thing about crypto is it's hard to predict when these things are gonna rocket. Like I said, I bought a lot of crypto years ago, and I never really added to it. I mean, I would do I would like stake my crypto to like it's like, think of it as like generating like a little bit of a dividend, and you can reinvest it and get more coins or crypto or whatever they call it. I'm really not the crypto expert, but I would stake my crypto. I would earn a little bit of money. I would use it to get more crypto. So I was kind of, in a way, getting more crypto. I just wasn't actively buying it. And I just bought it and forgot about it. And 4 years go by or whatever. And the last time I checked my crypto account was 6 months ago. I checked it a couple days ago. It was up 50 or 60%. It's insane. When I posted a video a couple days ago, it was up 44%. The next day it was up 59%. This morning or yesterday it was up 61%. It's insane. But do you want to buy? Do you want to chase? It's the same thing like SMCI. It's the same thing like NVIDIA. It's the same thing with crypto. Do you want to chase things that have already had this massive run? The people who are benefiting the most from crypto right now are the people like me who bought it and held it. We're the ones who are benefiting the most, because I bought my crypto years ago, and I bought it when it was down, and it went up a lot when I first bought it. Then it dipped a little bit and I had some losses, and then it started to come back a little bit, and now it's up massively. The people who benefit from that are people like me who already held it, not the people who are buying it today. They're running a little bit more of a risk, in my opinion. Same with a stock. Same with buying SMCI at 1,000. Same with buying NVIDIA at all-time highs. The likelihood that it pulls back here is much more likely because it's up so much. Naturally, people are going to take profits, especially in something volatile like crypto, especially in something where a couple months ago, Bitcoin was like 21,000. Now it's almost 70. I mean, let's see. It might even be 70 while we're on this live. No, it's 67,640. 67,000. watch the covered call playlist on here. There are dividend ETFs like SCHD, which pays modest dividends if you don't want to buy individual stocks. If you had a large sum to invest, would you do it all at once or over time? I would do a hybrid approach. If I had a large sum of money, I want to benefit from compounding as early as possible. If you're putting in $100, $100, that's fine if it's all you can afford, but it's going to be a little bit harder. If you go on any investing calculator and you say, well, let's say I put in $100 a month every month for a period of year, it'll work out for you. You'll have more money than when you started. But if you say, hey, I'm starting with 50 grand, you start compounding a lot sooner. So lump sum investing is always better, but most people just can't afford to do it. Most people are also worried about, well, what if I lump sum and then the recession comes? So if that's a concern you have, do a hybrid approach. Lump sum 50%, 25%, 75%, whatever you feel like, and then reserve that remaining capital in the event a recession comes where you can then buy more. What do you think of AGM? I'm not really familiar with it. What do you think about Agree Realty, AbbVie, and Pfizer? Let's try to keep the questions to like just one because we've got 99 comments from people asking about individual companies. Pfizer, I was on my wish list. I haven't purchased it yet for 2024. It's down 10% this year. It has a pretty high dividend of 6.49%. So I like it. I haven't added to it yet. Let's see here. Wall Street has an average price target of $32, which is a 26% move from here. If it happens or not, your guess is as good as anyone's. They do have a dividend safety grade of B-, which is another reason that I really like Pfizer. But I have not yet added to the stock. I assume at some point, maybe I will. XRP I own a little bit, but not much to have really any sort of real like opinion or interest in like a stake in it. Like I'm not like very excited. Do you know about the MMTLP scandal? No, MMTLP. Meta Materials. I never heard of it. Thoughts on Broadcom before earnings? Trading into earnings is always going to be high risk. That's all we got to say. They could have really good earnings, but a bad forecast. They could have bad earnings and a good forecast. They could have bad earnings and a bad forecast. They could have good earnings. There's so many variables here. They could have good earnings, but not good enough. Or they could have a good forecast, but not good enough. And then Wall Street is disappointed. Or they could knock it out of the park. Trading into earnings is something I never do. It's too high risk. What do you think about Agree Realty? Agree Realty. I think that was from the same person that asked about 57 other different companies. ADC is Agree Realty. It's down 18% last year. This year it is down 9%. It pays a 5.19% dividend, which is good. They have a dividend safety grade of C+, which is not so great. But they have grown their dividend 6.3% in the last 5 years. They have a strong buy from Wall Street. And it says here that they... it says that they have omni-channel retail. I don't know what that means, so I'm going to go on their website. Rethink retail. That's what it says. They have 2,100 properties, 44 million square feet. They have stuff like Amco, Academy Sports, Advanced Auto Parts, lots of advanced auto parts all over the nation. Basically every advanced auto part. Let's see here. They have Aldi's. This one's pretty interesting, actually. I'm going to write this one down on my list as well for a REIT. They have Aldi's everywhere. Amazon Fresh as well. They have a lot of AMC movie theaters. Dental offices, AT&T retail stores, AutoZones as well. Lots of AutoZones. So they're really in the AutoZone space. Oh my God, every single space. Tires, Bass Pro Shops, Best Buys, which is kind of weird. I didn't know people still went to Best Buy. Boot Barn, they got a lot of Boot Barn. I mean, my God, this company's massive. CVS, they have a lot of CVS. So we get the idea. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Getting to the point in the live where I start to lose my voice. What's the best stock to buy for a quick profit? Couldn't tell you. You would be rolling the dice and guessing. Good morning. Hey, good morning to you as well. What do you think of XRP? I own some. That's the extent of my knowledge. I really don't know too much about it. What is the next NVDA? Couldn't tell you. However, I will say this. There's a lot of... Excuse me. This is the problem with going live. Especially when it's just me and there's no one else to talk. Give me a little voice arrest. The next NVIDIA, your guess is as good as anybody's. There's you can look at like mid cap and small cap companies that are reporting larger and larger growth. One way to do that would be to go on a website like Seeking Alpha and type in mid cap, small cap, high growth ETFs like that, and start looking for ones that are low price and are having big gains in revenue. But outside of that, you would really just kind of be guessing. It would be more of an educated guess, but it's still a guess nonetheless. What I wanted to say was there's a video going around on TikTok right now where someone is saying Lemonade is the next NVIDIA. Lemonade is casualty and property insurance. Now, they're saying they're using AI to do it, which makes everyone very excited. But at the end of the day, I think I think it's a hook. I think that's all it is. It's a hook to get you to watch his video. Is Lemonade the next NVIDIA? Well, I want to hear about this, so I'm going to watch the video. You got to be careful of hooks on social media. They're just trying to bait you to watch the video. So saying an insurance company is the next NVIDIA, I think is not an exactly ethical thing to be doing. I don't think a healthcare or an insurance company is going to do the exact same thing that the largest semiconductor, well, I don't know if they're the largest, but they're one of the most popular semiconductor companies on the planet. Smart technology is booming. It's only going to get larger. Come on, it's gonna. We have smart light bulbs. We have smart microwaves. Everything is smart now. It all uses semiconductors. And to say that an insurance company is the next NVIDIA, no, I don't think so. So you got to be careful. Financial Dabber, hey, what's up? Do you ever take cash profits? Very rarely. I take profits in companies when, so one example would be a few years ago, I had stock in Microsoft and I was up a little bit and I was looking at Microsoft and I was like, I just don't think Microsoft is going to do insane things growth wise. And there's another company out there that I really want to invest in. I could take money from my account and buy it, or I could sell Microsoft stock and reallocate those funds into something that I think would be a better investment. And that better investment turned out to be NVIDIA. So I took some profits from Microsoft and used the money to buy NVIDIA. Other times, these are my favorite long-term investments. These are my personal long-term investments that I've held since 1999 for WWE, which is now TKO, 2003 and 2009 and 2012 for Apple, 2012 for Meta, 2016 for Tesla. I sold portions of these investments to pay for my home. So that was really the last time that I took profits on an investment. I take cash profits on my stocks all the time. Tony's stuff, what do you think about PLTR? I'm a big fan of Palantir. They give you artificial intelligence exposure. They get a little bit of peace of mind because they have a lot of government contracts. You might not like what the company does. People think they're using it to spy on people. Maybe they are, I don't know. But the stock is up 184% in the last 10 years, and that's really all that matters to me. It's up 37% this year. I like it. Their grades are fantastic. Let's see here. Palantir has a D- for valuation, means they're a little overvalued, but sometimes people don't care. They're willing to pay more for that. Growth, A. Profitability, A. Momentum, A+. Revisions, A. They do have a hold rating overall from Wall Street. There are 18 analysts covering Palantir, 3 strong buys, 1 buy, 8 holds, 3 sells, 3 strong sells. They have a 1-year price target of $18, which would be down 21% from here. But I believe that $18 price target is just a previous high target that they've already smashed through. Their next high price target is 30, and the stock is currently 23. I like Palantir. I actually own a little Palantir as well. What is your favorite Vine? My favorite Vine is probably the Merry Christmas one. Merry Chrysler, Merry whatever she does, whatever. I like that one. I think it's a TikTok, but people also compare it to Vine. Is the one where the grandma hands her kid a card, and he opens the card and like $12,000 in cash falls out of the card, and he just like totally ignores the money, and he's like, he reads the card from his Nana, and he's like, "Oh, thank you, Nana," and then his sister in the background goes like, "There's money in that card," and he like kind of looks down and he goes, "Oh, there appears to be." I think that's hilarious. NVIDIA has a market for AI. Yes, they do. What do you think about, okay, we answered that one. What do you think of that one? We answered MicroStrategy. Let's see. MicroStrategy is currently $1,198 per share. They have a 1-year price target of $7.94, but I would guess that that's just a price target they've already smashed. Yeah, it's up 89% this year. So they've already surpassed that price target. Their next highest price target is 794, and they've already passed that one too. So this is a company that's had massive growth. 6 analysts are covering it, 4 strong buys, 1 buy, 1 sell. NVIDIA, is it true to buy it on Friday and sell it on Monday? That doesn't make any sense to me because the markets are closed. Judah J is in here, one of my friends. If he's still in here, he might not still be in here. Maybe he popped in to say hi. Robinhood shares are booming was his comment. If you are still in here, please comment, say something about yourself. Everyone should follow him. He's teaching people how to trade and invest in crypto. So people always ask me about crypto. He's the guy to follow. Tesla's down almost 5%. Yes, we talked about Tesla at the very beginning of the live. They had a fire in their plant. It was arson. They think that it was arson, or maybe it was arson. So someone purposely tried to burn down their factory, cut out the power in Germany. Gigafactory in Berlin is closed temporarily to deal with this fire, and that's what's impacting the stock today. Talk about Walmart. They're everywhere. They just bought Sony, the Vizio TV from Sony. It's a huge move for them because, like we've seen, if you have a Fire Stick or anything like that, anytime you turn on your Fire Stick and you pause the show, like a commercial for Charmin toilet paper pops up, and there's a little option at the bottom of the screen that says buy it. Do you want to buy it? And you can add to cart and you can buy it through your television. And it's another way to advertise and sell and make money off of you, the consumer. So they're not buying the TV to be in the television business. They're buying the TV so they can sell you more stuff. They have their own version of Prime and whatever. What do you think about Dogecoin? I own a little. Davon is in here. Judah J is in here. I hope he's still in here. What do you think of XRP? I thought you were making a t-shirt. I thought about it, but I never actually did. Opinion on bonds. They're for old people, in my opinion. Look, bonds are great for a couple reasons. Bonds and CDs and treasury bills and all that. Let's say you are in your 20s or 30s or 40s and you are saving up money with the plan of buying a house. You do not want to put your money in the stock market for a 2 or 3 year period. It's not long enough. You could put your money in the stock market, a recession could happen, your money could get wiped out, and it could take 5-6 years to recover. And you're trying to buy a house. Or, of course, you could put it into the stock market and the markets go up. But that's too much of a roll of the dice, in my opinion, to take that risk, especially when you're trying to buy a home and you need money and you don't want to jeopardize it by putting it in something risky like the stock market. Risky short term, great long term. So you put your money in bonds, in CDs, in high yield savings accounts, and you earn a little bit, but you're not risking too much money. Then they're great. The other reason I don't like bonds, outside of for young investors, it doesn't make sense unless you're planning on a big purchase, is because bonds are for old people. Bonds, like my mom has bonds. My mom has CDs. My mom will call me and all excited. Oh, I just put another bunch of money into a 4.7% CD. Oh, I found one for 5%. I'm putting more money into the 5. You make your money and then you preserve your money. That's it. You make it, you preserve it. And you preserve it by putting it in boring things like bonds and CDs and treasury notes and all that stuff. When you are 20 and 30 and 40 and even maybe 50, the majority of your money, in my opinion, should be in index funds and stocks, not bonds, unless, like I said, you're saving for a big purchase. Critical mass is about living off investments. You need more than 2,000. I understand. Okay. SoFi we talked about. Let's see if I wrote it down on here. I didn't. I don't know when I talked about SoFi, but it's going to be on my live. That I'm going to download this live and repost it to YouTube, so you can go and you can find it there. I like SoFi. They just issued some convertible notes for 2029 of $750 million, which usually Wall Street doesn't like if they have to raise capital, and that's why the stock is down 10%. What do you think of Apple? We've already talked about Apple. Financial Dabber, we've talked about Apple at the beginning of the live. The reason it's down today is because iPhone sales are down 24% in China as people are going to a Chinese competitor for their smartphones. Would you take profits on NVIDIA? No, I'm personally not. Hey, Anya, thank you for the gift. I I personally am not taking any profits on NVIDIA. I plan on holding it for the next 10, 20, 30 years. I bought it at 125. So if I were to sell it thinking, oh no, a recession could come, then I would be selling it thinking it's going to go lower than what I paid for it. Anything other than that, and I might as well just hold, because I'd have to buy back the shares at a much, like let's say NVIDIA is $800 right now, right? Let's see here. NVIDIA is 841. I bought it at 125. I think my average price is like 170 though, because I bought it at different prices much higher. So let's say it's 842 right now, and a recession comes tomorrow, and NVIDIA has really bad earnings, and the smart technology all gets hit because no one's buying anything, and NVIDIA goes from 842 to $500, or even worse, $300. And then everything recovers, and a year or two later, the markets are booming again, and the stocks start to go back up, and I want to buy it back. I bought it at 170 average price, and it's 300. 500, 600. If I wanted to buy it back, I'm going to be paying more at a much higher price. It makes sense to me to just hold it. Oris is asking about Tesla. There was a arson down today at a factory in Germany, at their Gigafactory. Some environmentalists tried to burn down the factory, and it cut out power in that town or whatever. So a lot of people were impacted by it. They had to temporarily close the factory. We've talked about it. It's going to be on my live later today. Do you options trade? Absolutely not. Every time I trade options, I lose money. Amazon, I think, is going to be fine for very long term. Is it true Uber is supposed to skyrocket eventually? I mean, I don't know. Nobody knows. Is it true? Is it true it's supposed to skyrocket eventually? Maybe. It's already up 130% last year. It's up 27% this year. It has a strong buy rating, but these are no guarantees. There's no guarantees in the market. Uber is currently $78. The 1 year price target is 85. Your guess is as good as mine. Is today a good day to buy Tesla? I mean, look, the stock is down a lot because of this arson. I personally think Tesla's days of massive growth are done. Doesn't mean that they won't go up again. I'm sure they will. It's 179. It's 179 right now. It could be an opportunity to throw a little bit in. The stock is down 30% in the last 6 months. In the last 5 days, it's down 12%. Could be an opportunity to buy another couple shares if you wanted, and if you believe that Tesla will continue to do well in the future. But I don't give financial advice. It's your call. Costco is another great stock, minus their allegations that they were using prison labor to get their food made on the cheap. The stock is up 15% year to date. It is up 61% in the last 1 year. Analyst rating on PanW. Hey, thank you, by the way, for your this is for Wavy. No, wait, who asked this one? This is from Braden. Thank you also for asking a clear question. Analyst ratings on PanW. Not just, what are your thoughts? That's such a vague question. So I really appreciate that you're just cutting right to it and said, give me the analysts. The analyst 1 year price target on PanW is 335. It is currently 284. That is an almost 18% move to the upside if the analysts are correct. And we know that they're right about 30% of the time. The highest price target for PanW, which everyone knows, Nancy Pelosi just invested in, I don't need to hear it, I know, is $407. $407 is the high price target. The average is 335 and the lowest is 265. There's only one analyst with a sell order on PanW. 24 analysts give it a strong buy. 10 give it a buy. 14 holds. 1 sell order. So an average buy rating. Bitcoin, by the way, is hitting all-time highs, I guess, today. Let's go take a look. It's, let's see, 69,244. Was that the high for today? Let's take a look. No. Was that today? I don't know. Thoughts on Brett? I've never heard of it. I'm not well versed in crypto, but I have 2 Ethereum that I bought in 2020. Would you sell? I have a lot of Ethereum as well that I also bought a long time ago. I'm not selling mine if it means anything to you. I'm holding this stuff for the long run. Bitcoin was like 19,000 or 20,000 earlier in the year. Everyone was ragging on it, especially the big money, the JP Morgans, the BlackRocks. They were all saying, oh, it should be regulated. It's a scam. Don't go near it. Meanwhile, they were buying it. Now they have their Bitcoin ETF and people are surging into these Bitcoin ETFs. And that means that they have to acquire more Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is on the rise, and then retail investors see it. They pile into Bitcoin. I think the same thing's going to happen with Ethereum. I think Ethereum is going to be next. I think Ethereum is going to be next. All right. And I mean next in terms of like an Ethereum ETF. Did you learn trading through books? Yes, I did. Kerry, hey, oh my God, Jamie is in here. Jamie is one of my oldest real life friends. Wow, hi. I'll text you when this live is over. Did you learn trading through books? Yes. If you click on my homepage, there's an Amazon. There's a link tree in my bio. You click on the Amazon one. It'll take you to an Amazon store. There's a book there by a guy named Nicholas Darvis, who invented basically this thing called the Darvis box method. He kind of put like investing. This is this new thing here where it says that my live is about to end unless I slide the puzzle piece into the thing. I guess that's how they make it. In case you're like restreaming this live, like scammers will download my lives and they'll repost them. Smart. Nicholas Darvis basically invented momentum investing. Where can average people buy stocks? Any brokerage is fine. Robinhood, even though they had some issues in the past, I think they're fine. Robinhood, Webull, BBAE, Schwab, Fidelity, any brokerage is fine. None of them have minimums. None of them have fees. It's not 1999 anymore. You can trade for free on these sites. You can invest. There's no commission, $10 to buy, $10 to sell. There's no 5,000 minimum deposit. You can just put money in and start investing. Anyone is fine. Don't complicate it. Just open a brokerage account and start buying investments. Can you talk about WFRD? WFRD, and then I got to kind of wrap this live up here a little bit. Weatherford International, I've never heard of. It's got strong buy ratings across the board. It's oil and gas services. No dividend, though, which is interesting because usually oil and gas companies pay dividends. It's up 8% this year. It's up 53% last year. Oh, my God. It's up 13,000% in the last 5 years. That's insane. Revenue from 2021 on up just keeps going up every year. End of 2024 on Amazon, couldn't tell you. Hello, what can you tell me about Rafcoin? Nothing, I don't follow crypto too much. I've been buying Apple while it's on sale, that's smart. Is it a good thing to buy Amazon? This is for Enrique. The question I have for you is, do you think Amazon is going to be a larger company in a decade? If your answer is yes, you might want to start investing in that company. If your answer is no, I think they've done it. They've oversaturated every space. Their years of massive growth are over. I don't want to go near it. Then you also have your answer. What do you think about Alpha Picks on Seeking Alpha? Honestly, I've never used it, so I couldn't tell you. Carvana long term, no real opinion on Carvana. How aggressive should I be at 51? Jenny, that is a personal question, and I hate to say it, but a financial advisor might be a better option because a lot of people hate financial advisors because they think that they're just glorified stockbrokers who are going to say, buy this, buy that. But you can go to them and say, I don't want your stock advice. I want your financial planning advice. They'll look at all your money. They'll look how much you owe, if you have a mortgage, if you have debts, if you have grandkids and you want to set up something for them, or kids and you want to set up something for them. They'll look at all your financial pictures. How much medical bills do you have? What do you foresee in the future in terms of housing and medical and stuff like that? And they'll give you a bigger picture. And then they can also help you if you wanted with financial planning and investments and stuff like that. But generally, it's up to you. It's how much you've already been investing. If you've been investing for 20 or 30 years in S&P 500 index funds and you are set in your retirement accounts, then you can take on a little bit more risk just for fun, or you can not take on any risk if you're already set up. If you have never invested at all, starting at 51 being aggressive can carry a lot more risk. Let's say you pile into some high growth stocks and then 2 years from now there's a recession. Yikes. And it takes 8 years for that recession to recover. And in the meantime, you've got crushed on a lot of your investments. You can see why being very aggressive as you get a little older or closer to retirement comes with more risk. What about CLS? You are a wealth of information. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that comment. That's from Judine 9, Celestia. Someone asked about it yesterday or the other day. It's an electronic manufacturing services company. I've never really heard of this company. They offer a range of product manufacturing and related supply chain services, including design, development, new product introduction, engineering, component sourcing. So they build stuff. It's up 247% last year. It's up 55% this year. It's up almost 400% over the last 5 years. It has a very strong buy rating according to the analysts. 4 strong buys, 3 buys, 1 hold, 1 sell. Across the board, the analysts think it could go up. Let's see, $54 is their highest price target. All right, everybody, I hate to do this because there's 50 questions down there at the bottom. Why are the markets down today? It's Apple's fault. iPhone sales in Apple are down 24% because people are going to a competitor. That's the reason Apple is down. And usually when Apple is down, the whole markets go down because they're seen as like the market leader. So if Apple is having trouble, it's likely that other companies are as well. B. Diddy says, I have $5,000 to invest today. Where do I put it? I can't give you financial advice, but you can check my pinned video that says new to investing, do this. I would watch that video and take notes. How would you find the best financial advisor? So there are websites like this, Money Pickle, and there are other financial advisor websites where you can go on and you can probably search for what you want. You want someone who's called a fiduciary. That means they have your interest in heart, not the bank where they work. So if you go into like a Wells Fargo and you say, I want a financial advisor, they'll be like, look at all the great Wells Fargo products we can offer you. That might not be best for you. You want also a financial advisor who doesn't charge high fees. If you have millions of dollars, they're going to charge you 1%, 2%, 3% to manage your money. You don't want that. You want a financial advisor that you pay by the hour. You're not saying I want a money manager. You're saying, hey, I have 10 questions about the markets and my investments and my financial situation. I want to pay you for that. He says my rate is $300 an hour. You say, okay, I want 3 hours with you. We can do 2 hours today or an hour broken up over a period of time so we can figure things out. That would be the best way to go about finding a financial advisor. Bitcoin ETFs, I don't personally see the point. They charge fees. You can buy your own Bitcoin. Why would you pay a fee to own something that you can just own yourself? Yield Max ETFs, someone asked me about them the other day. There's a playlist on covered call ETFs. I would definitely check out the playlist on Yield Max ETFs. They carry a lot of risk. If the stocks are volatile, the premiums will be higher. If the markets are down, the premiums will be less. If the stock was volatile and is no longer volatile, then the premiums can go down and you can lose a lot of money. All right, everybody. Palo Alto, we already talked about. I don't have it on my list here, but it was towards the end of this live. You can go on later. I'm going to be downloading this live and putting it on YouTube. So you can go on and watch it later. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to get to everyone's question. I go live Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. However, this Sunday, I will be going live at 9:30 to 10:30 because we have got plans at 11. So I will be going live on Sunday, this Sunday at 9:30, but usually it's 10 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. If I didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. You can come back later. You can also leave a comment on one of my videos. I'll try to get to it there. In the meantime, thanks for watching. Thank you for following if you're a new follower. By the way, if you're a new follower, I'm very sorry about this, but you are going to get 10 to 15 to 30 Trade, Invest, Simplify copycat accounts following and DMing you. It is not me. I will never DM you. I will never ask for money. So if you get any Trade, Invest, Simplify following you, block them and report them. It's not me. I make a point to say I won't follow you back just to clear up any confusion. So I get DMs from people going, did you follow me? Are you DMing me? Am I talking to you on your backup account? No, there's none of that. All right, thanks. Bye. See you later.